Probably everybody and their mother has read the book by now because everybody's reading Sunrise on the Reaping already. But just in case you were like me and waited years and have avoided all spoilers, then do not watch this because it'll have spoilers probably.
You're tearing my heart up like it's paper, and somehow you turn to a stranger. We used to work, now I'm trying to make.
We're going back into the Hunger Games world. So far, I have avoided as many spoilers as I can from the books and from the movie, except for casting announcements. I've been keeping up with those, but I don't think that's really that much of a spoiler if I don't read anything else. But we're doing a reading vlog just for these series because Hunger Games is one of the books that got me into reading, so I thought it would be fun to go back into that world, but this time years prior. I must admit it does feel a bit strange to be in his head, even more as Snow is young in this one, so it feels a bit out of place. Like I shouldn't really be in his head, yet I am. But I'm excited nonetheless because when I say I've avoided as many spoilers as I can, I mean any and all spoilers from the books and the movie. Like I'm going into this with just this. I didn't watch reading vlogs or reviews about it, so we're just gonna see how this goes. I'm on page 168 and there's already been some moments where I was like, I forgot what book I was reading and I can't remember if it was like this with the main trilogy. I imagine it was, but I just read that years ago. I actually read the books by the time that Mockingjay Part 1 was coming out. So it's been a while. So I think I had kind of forgotten what happens in the books, like the pretty specific detailed descriptions of death that there are. So I feel like I wasn't ready with the mindset. Like I didn't actually realize like, yes, I'm going back into the Hunger Games world. But now I am. This should be interesting, especially since we're following like his story and his family, which, I mean, we all know how it ends, but like I forgot any and all details about family trees and connections between characters and whatnot. I had completely forgotten the fact that Tigress and Snow were related. I really hope I pronounced her name right. If not, shame on me. I can't remember what it is that happens with her, like with their relationship, like why she ends up the way she ends up when we see her in Mockingjay and stuff. So I'm already intrigued. And I decided to pick this up already because, listen, casting announcements are being made for Sunrise on the Reaping. So the quicker I read this, the easier it'll be to actually not spoil myself. So we're gonna keep going. It's the next day, but I didn't end up reading anything yesterday. However, I did post about my reading update and the fact that I had started this book. And there were 2 comments left where people said that basically they thought this book was boring, but they forced themselves to continue because they knew that it was important for the context of the story and the characters and whatnot. But it hasn't been boring for me so far. My only thing is that I genuinely don't know where this is going. I don't know if it's only gonna be the games or if it's gonna be something also afterwards. And I think what has me confused is the fact that I did see, like, when the trailer was being shared around, I saw things here and there, you know, like some of the things. So I don't know if it's all set in the Hunger Games or if we're gonna see some of what happens with Snow after those games are over. I feel like this is really dumb and like I should know this, but like I said, I'm going into this blind basically. So this is what we have. Now I'm just gonna read for a little bit and I'll update you if I have any thoughts that I feel like should not just stay in my head. Also, before I go read, casting announcements for Sunrise and the Reaping continue to come out, and we got Effie Trinket. I could not be happier with this casting. Since people were putting her on their fan casts, I agreed that she would make an incredible Effie. She was casted, and Elle Fanning is now Effie Trinket. So that is exciting. That is also motivating me to read because I'm like, when this comes out, this time I want to watch it at the same time that everybody's watching it. So on release day, basically. Because I didn't do that with The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes because I hadn't read the book. So I still haven't watched the movie, so I couldn't participate in all the shenanigans like I did when I was finished with the books and Mockingjay Part 1 and Mockingjay Part 2 came out. But I want to participate in all the things. So we're gonna keep reading this and then we're going to Sunrise and the Reaping on the same video and we'll see I think that was it.
I don't wanna call you later. You're tearing my heart up like it's paper, and somehow you turn to a stranger. We used to work, now I'm trying to make sure that we're both on the same page.
I have 73 pages left, and I am terrified. Because why are things relatively okay? I'm scared. I need to finish this book because I made a video talking about the fact that I have roughly 70 pages left and things are relatively okay. Which I don't really think it's a good sign because this is a Hunger Games book after all, and I have a feeling that things don't end like they are at this point where I currently am in the story. But I basically made a video talking about that, and the comments were slightly concerning. I just gotta finish this, and I also want to watch the movie. And also, with the open casting call that is now out there, a lot more videos and edits have come up on my page, and it's taken everything in me to like and then just keep scrolling without stopping to see anything because I don't want to spoil myself when I'm this close to finishing. So I'm just gonna finish this book and we'll see how that goes. Also, I don't think I ever showed it, but look at the bookmark that I'm using. Perfect time to use it. This is me before finishing Sunrise. Wait. This is me before finishing the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
I know you're riding away. Is there room for us both on the same wave? Nothing breaks so clearly when there's love on the line. My best friend told me someone that I don't even like. There's nothing left to fix if you don't want me to try. Oh, why would I when you were?
He's always been self-centered and self-serving. How does it affect him? He could just tell his friend, because he's friend with nobody, to just leave him out of it and just go on with his life. He's dying, isn't he? And it's probably gonna be Snow's fault. Why am I scared that he's not the only one who's gonna die right now? No wonder he didn't like the song.
I should have known from the start that you were a waste of an open bar tab, wiping my feet on the doormat. There's so much of you that I just can't leave. Yeah, nothing breaks so clearly when there's love on the line. My best friend told me someone that I don't even like. There's nothing left to fix it.
I hate that she has no ending. I don't even know what to rate this. I finished this book. I don't know if I'm gonna put the clip of last night when I finished the book. I still don't think I have my thoughts in order. I'm gonna try to summarize what I feel towards this book. I don't know what to rate this, to be honest. I hadn't seen any reviews. I hadn't looked up any videos of people who read the book. I didn't want to get spoiled, so I stood away and avoided as many spoilers as I could. I saw someone say that this book was more like a character study of Snow. And I want to put that out there because I agree, first of all. And second of all, I think that's how I can start shaping my thoughts. I was enjoying this as, again, a character study of Snow. I am a more character-driven person as well, so I do enjoy these things. I did expect a little bit more of a struggle within Snow between the good and the bad, like doing the right thing versus doing what was obviously self-serving. I think I expected to see a little bit more of it, but at least to me from the very beginning, it's very clear who he is, what he cares for, what he's gonna stand for and what he's gonna support. It's very clear that if there is one word that describes him, it's self-serving. Anything he did outside of the things that had to do with his cousin and his grandma were for the sole purpose of benefiting himself. Not even with Lucy Gray. I have seen two instances already when one person said something about his crash out being valid because of Lucy Gray and the heartbreak that he was going through. And then I read a Goodreads review that said that Lucy Gray betrayed him. How you could have gotten to that conclusion, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Because there are many instances that prove that above all, it's whatever he can do to get himself to the top and to remain there. And that he uses people to keep him there. Not because he genuinely wants to help, not because he cares, solely because it serves him. So the fact that we saw that from the beginning, or at least that I saw that from the beginning, it did feel maybe a little flat because it didn't allow for that genuine struggle of him maybe genuinely caring to do the right thing, but still deciding to keep his privilege and keep that above all. There wasn't really that much of a struggle because from the beginning there are many instances where it is very clear that he was always gonna put himself first. Now on to the thing that really is driving me insane. Those things, diving into Snow's character and kind of seeing this villain origin story, as well as the social commentary on this book, those were the parts that I'm like, I want to go back and annotate. I want to go back and look for more instances of that I might have missed and tab them and underlined and go a little bit more in depth into that I enjoy. And another thing I really liked in this book were the parallels with the main trilogy. We are seeing how so many of those things started. We are seeing where the Hanging Tree song comes from. We see the parallels with Lucy Gray picking up Katniss, and then our main trilogy. That part of the book, I'm all for. Now, my main issue, there is a reason why I don't do open endings in books. I think, as readers, we each have certain things that just don't do it for you in books, and you avoid them because it's just not for you. Open endings are something I avoid at all costs. Mind you, it's not even about the ending of this book, because we already knew, no matter what, at the end of this book, we knew that Snow was gonna land on top. My issue, and I'm gonna try to articulate this, but I don't really know if I can, is the fact that I can't remember the last time I was this mad for a character like I am for Lucy Gray right now. If there is another perspective out there, another way of seeing it, please let me know and help me out. Because this is the only way I'm seeing it right now and how I'm feeling. Her character not having an ending feels like a disservice to her. And it feels, to me, more of a disservice than if we had seen her ending on page. I even thought her ending would be, she would be taken to the tree. Something would happen. Someone found out that they were running away. Mind you, he was never running away with her. Never. But while they attempted to, someone found them out that he was gonna let her take the fall, or he was gonna frame her in a way, and she was gonna be taken to that tree, and her last few moments were gonna be in that tree singing to him as he watched with the peacekeepers her last moments, and that was gonna be that could be how she ended. Even that I pictured. But for her to not have an ending, it makes me feel like the author felt the same way that the Capitol felt about her. They just erased her. Like, she was of no consequence to them whatsoever. They wanted her gone. And they erased the games. They erased her as the victor. They erased everything. For some reason, that makes me irrationally mad. This is why I'm saying, if there's an intention or perspective that I'm missing, please let me know. My only solace is a comment left on a TikTok about the movie, which I haven't watched, by the way, but I'm about to go watch. And then I'm gonna start Sunrise and the Reaping. I was gonna do a vlog where I read the 2 books, but I feel like this has gone on for too long probably, so I'm just gonna do a separate one for that one. My only solace is a TikTok comment that said, it was a screenshot of the movie, of that scene where I'm assuming they're in the shed, because I again haven't watched it, and it says like how you can tell how terrified she was. That's where she tells him that she's gonna go get some Katniss, and that comment said, and she did bring him Katniss in the end. That comment is my solace. I have to believe that Lucy Gray, wherever she was, however it was, that she did have a role in bringing Katniss to him. I have to believe that. Otherwise, I'm gonna be just mad at this book. I don't know what to rate this, to be honest. And so I think I'm gonna leave it at that. If by the time I'm editing this, I have already decided what to rate this, I'll put it here somewhere. I really need to sit down and go back to certain instances that I did find interesting and enjoy before my anger took over, before my frustration came into the picture. As of now, that is it for this video. I am now going to go watch the movie, and then I'm gonna read a romance book. I started one because I needed something lighthearted in between. So I'm probably gonna finish that and then start Sunrise and the Reaping, which will probably be tomorrow, honestly. So stay tuned. I'm really excited because I've seen the casting announcements. But again, I have kept myself from watching spoilers, reading spoilers, but now that I went back to look at what people said about the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, my For You page is filled with Hunger Games edits, and I'm so excited and I love it. And I am thinking of maybe rereading the trilogy, because while I have watched the movies multiple times, I've only read the books once, and that was years ago. And I did see a video of someone saying that it's definitely different reading the Hunger Games as an adult than reading them as a teenager. And I also think it would be interesting to read them in English for the first time. That is it for this video. If you stayed and actually watched this, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you've already read this, what you thought of it, and if you've already read Sunrise and the Reaping, and you can let me know what you thought without spoilers, that would be amazing. And that would be it. I will probably see you in the Sunrise and the Reaping reading vlog. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and you want to see my Sunrise and the Reaping one, share this. If you have a book account, if you enjoyed any part of this, if you share my frustration, or even if you don't and you have another perspective, let me know. And I'll see you in my next one.